Good afternoon, everybody. This is Avantika Shah, a clinical and a sports nutritionist practicing since the last 10 years. I'm here to talk on nutrition for marathon training on behalf of Talwalkars, a leading brand in the fitness industry with a chain of gyms all across the country. So let's roll. Marathoners are a unique lot. They put bone against concrete and push their bodies to the limit until either their bodies or their spirits wear out. What sort of a runner are you? If you are the type whose body wears out before your spirit, then maybe you need to optimize your diet and prime your body for the run. So welcome on board for the topic of today's webinar, Running the Extra Mile, wherein we guide you on diet tips on what to eat before, during and after the event. The content that I shall cover in the presentation would be the role of nutrients, the process of dietary training, and last but not the least, the importance of hydration. During the course of the presentation, if you have any queries, you may post it in the small box on the left-hand side of the page. Before we get into the detailing of meals, it is important to understand the role of nutrients. There are three main nutrients that are your body's financial assets. These include your carbohydrates, your proteins and fats. Carbohydrate is commonly known as a runner's friend that spares muscle glycogen. You need to consume it before, during and after long runs. An inadequate carbohydrate intake can lead to protein or muscle breakdown and decreased ability to burn body fat. Let me throw some light on muscle glycogen. Remember, muscle glycogen is the most critical fuel for marathon training. Glycogen is a sort of a carbohydrate that is stored in your system. In the event, the volume of muscular glycogen is not enough. It runs out and you have to replenish it. If you don't, it could result in fatigue and inability to retain your operating velocity during the run. To replenish the quantity of glycogen inside the body, the marathon diet hence has to be prosperous in carbohydrates. To identify the requirement of carbohydrate for marathon training, just multiply your weight in kilograms by 7 to get the exact number of carbohydrates you need to consume per day. Cereals like whole wheat pasta, brown rice, oats, whole wheat bread, fruits like apple, orange, sweet lime, papaya, muskmelon are good sources of carbohydrates. Vegetables like leafy vegetables, sweet potato, corn, peas, dals, beans like chickpeas, kidneys, black-eyed beans and baked beans also are sources of carbohydrates. Low-fat milk and dairy products like low-fat cottage cheese, low-fat cheese, low-fat yogurt do give some amount of carbohydrates. Aim to at least have 15 servings of cereals, 6 servings of fruits and 6 servings of vegetables and at least 5 servings of low-fat dairy foods. To understand the serving sizes, it's very simple. Please make a note. One serving of a cereal would give you 15 grams of carbohydrate. A slice of bread or a chapati, half-cooked rice or pasta would be one serving. A medium-sized fruit or 2 to 3 veggies of melon or papaya giving you 15 grams of carbohydrate would be one serving. Milk products, that would include a cup of low-fat milk, a cup of yogurt would give you around 12 grams of carbs. 1 cup of leafy raw vegetables would give you around 5 grams of carbs, making it one serving. Starchy vegetables that include peas, corn, half a cup, sweet potato, a number, would give you around 15 to 20 grams of carbs. Half cup of dal, half cup of beans would make it one serving of carbohydrate. Coming over to proteins, the name by itself signifies of prime importance. Protein repairs damaged muscle tissue. It optimizes your carbohydrate storage in muscles. It helps stabilize blood sugar levels when consumed with a carbohydrate meal or a snack. Your requirement of protein would at least be around 1.5 to 2 grams per kg body weight. The sources of protein include chicken, fish, eggs, low-fat milk and milk products. 20 grams of protein you could derive from a chicken breast or 3 to 4 pieces of fish the size of a playing card or 100 grams of cottage cheese. Half cup of cooked beans, a cheese cube, 1 egg, 2 egg whites, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter would give you around 7 grams of protein. 1 cup of low-fat milk, 1 cup of low-fat yogurt would give you around 8 grams of protein. So this was all about carbs and proteins. Coming over to fat, fat is considered to be the villain of the nutrition industry. But there are some healthy and essential fats that help absorb nutrients, vitamins and antioxidants. Remember, fat cannot be used for energy immediately and is easily stored as body fat. It is not a fast or an efficient source of energy. Too much of fat in the diet can cause sluggishness during the run. So make wise choices in your fats. Use MUFA-based cooking oils like olive, groundnut or rice bran. Supplement your diet with omega-3 fatty acids like flaxseed oil, powder, fish oils to optimize your nutrient intake and aid muscle repair. Now, since we have understood the role of nutrients, let's move on to the process of dietary training. The will to win means nothing without the will to prepare. So focus on your nutritional needs as much as you focus on training. Let's begin with a pre-competition meal 3 to 4 days prior of the marathon. There is a common strategy adapted by most of the endurance athletes that is known as carbohydrate loading, that involves changes to training and nutrition to maximize your muscle glycogen stores. I repeat, carbohydrate loading to maximize your muscle glycogen stores prior to endurance training. Carbohydrate loading is a technique in which you superload or supercompensate your muscles with glycogen to delay fatigue that helps you enable to maintain high intensity exercise for a longer period of time. Remember, post 90 minutes, your normal glycogen stores will not be sufficient enough to maintain endurance. Carbohydrate loading requires an exercise taper. Failing to taper will compromise carbohydrate loading. It will reduce your mileage while maintaining intensity. This reduces accumulated fatigue. As a general rule of thumb, taper your exercise training by 20 to 25% 3 weeks before the marathon, by 40% second week prior to the marathon, and by 60% 3 to 4 days before the marathon. Tapering is nothing but a practice of reducing exercise 3 weeks prior to your marathon. A diet in carbohydrate loading. Remember, increase your carbohydrate intake from 7 grams to 9 to 10 grams per kg body weight. Replace majority of the fat in the diet with carbohydrates. Use carbohydrate supplements to maximize your carbohydrate intake, for example, liquid meal replacements. Strictly avoid fruit juices, sweetened soft drinks, canned fruit with added sugar, sugars, jam and honey. Avoid junk food as they are sources of hidden fat rather than carbohydrates, for example, potato chips, cakes and biscuits. Make sure you are well hydrated in the days leading up to the marathon to prevent the effects of accumulated dehydration. So what is it that we have during the race day? 3 hours prior to your race, aim to have a meal with more than 200 grams of carbohydrate. Your meal options could include whole wheat toast with low-fat spreads, with low-fat cottage cheese and egg whites or egg whites, cereal with low-fat milk or yogurt, oatmeal with low-fat milk, pasta in a tomato-based sauce, baked sweet potato with corn or spaghetti in a tomato-based sauce, a smoothie, a fruit salad with low-fat yogurt. So the prime aim is basically to have carbohydrate-dense meals. Pre-competition nutrition an hour prior, please limit your protein and fat. Have a high carbohydrate meal like a cereal bar, a liquid meal replacement or even sports gels. During competition nutrition, the goal of your diet during your marathon is to prevent dehydration, prevent depletion of glycogen or energy stores, maintain blood glucose, maintain electrolyte balance, and prevent stomach upsets. Avoid anything too concentrated like undiluted juice or soda. Consume around 30 to 60 grams of carbs per hour. Use carbohydrate containing sports drink or moderate to high glycemic index foods. Your carbohydrate options could be a liter of 7% sports drink with 70 grams of carbs, orange or sweet lime. Apple without skin would give you around 20 grams of carbs. A cereal bar would provide 20 grams of carbs. A sports gel would give around 20 grams of carbohydrate. Post-competition nutrition. The goal of your diet following your event is to restore fluid and electrolyte balance, replenish deleted or depleted glycogen stores, and provide nutrients to help repair muscle damage. The first 4 to 6 hours are very crucial for optimal recovery. So choose carbohydrates with high glycemic index for maximal glycogen synthesis. 15 minutes post have a high carb beverage like a fruit juice, like grape juice. Please avoid orange juice that might cause gastric distress, or liquid carb meals or replacement shakes. 2 hours post have a high carb snack with little protein. 4 hours post have a high carb meal with moderate protein. A marathon hydration plan is a crucial aspect of your overall training program. If you do not consume enough of fluids, your body could basically break down and cause major problems. Fluids help regulate body temperature, maximize transport of nutrients and oxygen around your body, reduce the risk of heat illness, improve performance by preventing or reducing dehydration. Dehydration can start within 15 to 20 minutes. It impairs the ability of your heart to work harder and regulate body temperature. It affects mental function and coordination. The signs of dehydration include thirst, dry mouth, weakness, fatigue, nausea, vomiting, a high body temperature, muscle cramps, especially in your legs, dizziness, confusion, weak and a rapid heart rate, lack of coordination and judgment. Sweating is one of the ways to keep your body cool. As an athlete, your body adapts and sweats more, improving your temperature regulation. It is good to sweat, but your body does not tell you when you need to drink. So it is very important that you keep hydrating yourself. Thirst is the last indicator of dehydration. Before your run, drink at least 2 cups of fluid 1 or 2 hours prior. In the 10 or 15 minutes of your run, your urine should be pale in color. During the run, aim to at least have 3/4 or 1 cup of fluid every 15 to 20 minutes. Use sports drink for events lasting more than 60 minutes. Avoid fruit juices, especially the undiluted ones. Post-run, drink at least 2 to 3 cups of fluid. Take sips versus gulp. Drink cool fluids that you enjoy like Electral, Gatorade. Drink urine until it is pale or clear. Please make a note of GI foods. A moderate GI food would include oats, brown rice pohe, wheat bread, sweet potato, peas, yogurt, pineapple, muskmelon, orange, sweet lime, apple, papaya, cornflakes, white rice pohe, white bread, white potato, pumpkin, sports drinks, sports gel, ripe banana, raisins, watermelon, honey and glucose all fall in the class of high GI foods. The brands of liquid meal replacements would be Syntha 6 or Lean Body Librada. Your GU gels are the common sports gel available. Gatorade is a very common sports drink. ORS powder could be Enerzel or Electral. Your energy bars include your OA, Syntha 6, Oats and Whey, workout bars or Nature Valley granola bars. So to wrap up, during training, eat a high carbohydrate diet composed of moderate GI foods. Eat a high carb diet pre-race meal. While running, start taking in high GI foods for fast energy replacement, and the most important, stay hydrated. Running is the greatest metaphor for life because you get what you put into it. So focus on your training and your nutritional needs as well. For any queries, please write to us on support@talwalkars.net. Please do visit us on www.talwalkars.net or SMS FIT to 575758. Like us on www.facebook.com Talwalkars India. Follow us on www.twitter.com mytalwalkars. Thank you. Deepa, I did mention about the fluid intake. Let me run through the slides again. You can have around 2 cups of fluid before 1 or 2 hours prior to your run. Keep drinking water, hydrating yourself during the run. A cup of fluid, a cup of water, or 3/4 cup of water. Shaker, which form of egg is good? Drink directly, boiled, or in any other form. You can have it in boiled or burji or an omelette form. Please do not have raw eggs. It could lead to any salmonella infection. What you choose to eat when we dine outside, I would suggest that please do not have meals outside at least a week or 15 days prior to your competition. Shobit, the best meal for marathon, before marathon, would be a high carbohydrate meal that would include oatmeal, lots of oatmeal with milk, or cereals with milk, or probably a smoothie or a fruit salad with yogurt. Okay, this is a good question. Which is the best fruit to be consumed as a pre-meal on marathon day? Remember, please do not have fast absorbing carbohydrates or your fruits like your banana, chiku, grapes and watermelon. You can choose amongst your common like your apple, sweet lime, papaya, muskmelon or oranges. Prachi, can I sip on Electral during the marathon run? Yes, definitely Prachi, you can sip on Electral during the marathon run, but only after 60 minutes of the run. You can sip on water prior to 60 minutes of your run. What kind of, Zoya from Thane, what kind of a diet should I follow once the marathon is over? Once the marathon is over, make sure you have fast absorbing carbohydrates like your fruit juice, especially grape juice, or you can have a liquid meal replacement, or you can immediately have glucon C or glucon B. Post 2 hours of the marathon, please have something that is rich in carbohydrate, again like a whole wheat toast with small amount of peanut butter or egg whites. Load again with carbohydrates and more protein post 4 hours of the marathon. Asif from Mumbai is asking, is consumption of high fat food bad during marathon training? Yes, a high fat food during marathon training is definitely not a good idea, because fat, again as I repeat, does not lead to immediate energy release in your body. In fact, it will cause you sluggishness during your run. So focus on having a high carbohydrate diet rather than having a diet high in fat. Yes, Ruchi, there are substitutes for egg. You can definitely have low-fat paneer, you can have low-fat yogurt, you can have tofu, you can have soya chunks, you can have soya granules. There are many options for eggs also. If you are a non-vegetarian, you can even have chicken or fish as an option. Sarita from Malad has a question saying, is it advisable to consume soya instead of non-vegetarian food? Sarita, remember, your good sources, your prime sources of protein include your low-fat milk and milk products, your fish, chicken and eggs. Soya is a plant source of protein. Animal sources of protein are always better sources of protein. You can have low-fat paneer if you wish to, or low-fat yogurt if you wish to, in case of non-vegetarian foods. Soya, you can keep it as the last option if you wouldn't have your low-fat paneer or low-fat curds. Salim from Bandra asked me, what are antioxidants and how do they help? That's a very good question. Salim, remember, post-exercise, your immunity tends to drop down. Antioxidants are basically like your defense mechanism in your body that help prevent drop in immunity. Your common antioxidants would include vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin A. You can take vitamin C and vitamin E every day post your training and immediately after the marathon. Shilpa from Gujarat has a question, should sweets be taken post meals? Sweets, though, would be high in sugar, Shilpa. I would dissuade you from taking them because they would also come with a higher amount of fat. Take in meals after your race that would be high in carbohydrates and not high in fat. That would cause gastric discomfort. You might end up feeling nauseatic. You might end up vomiting after the race. So please focus on having high carbohydrate meals. I repeat again, immediately after the race you can have a juice or glucon C drink or a glucon D drink. Please do not take sweets after the race. Abraham wants to know whether salads should be consumed or avoided pre-race day. Yes, please do not have fiber during the race day. Avoid it. Fiber slows down the digestion. It would cause gastric discomfort during the run. So fiber strictly needs to be avoided during the race day, especially in the pre-race meal and the post-race meal. And of course, during the run, focus on having high carbohydrate foods during the run and after the run, and high GI carbohydrate foods, and moderate GI carbohydrate foods before the run. Lydia, if I'm not mistaken, Lydia from Mulund has a question saying, is multivitamin good to be taken before meal or post meal? Multivitamins are basically your B complex vitamins. Please take them before your meals. They activate your energy giving cycle, so that will definitely be helpful during the run or your training. The common multivitamins include your Bicosol, your Superidin, and so on. Anand from Indore has a question saying, can olive oil be used for cooking? Does it have lesser calories? Remember, Anand, oils, ghee and butter are calorie dense nutrients. They are sources of fat that give you 9 calories per gram. There is no difference when it comes to the calorie content of these fats. Olive oil would also give you 9 calories per gram. It is only that the quality of fat that you derive from olive oil is much better than what you would get from saturated fats. These oils would lead to optimized absorption of nutrients. So definitely you can use olive oil for cooking. Savitri from Trichy, how many dry fruits should I take daily? Your dry fruit options can be almonds. You can have a handful of almonds, or you can even have walnuts. So you can have an assortment of almonds and walnuts, or you can have an assortment of almonds, walnuts and black dates if you want to. Have a handful of almonds or a handful of walnuts and almonds, or a handful of walnuts by itself. I keep fast for days 4 days a week and generally eat sago and groundnuts. Can you suggest healthy options? Is a question from Suruchi from Ahmedabad. I would suggest fasting is not a great idea. However, if you do, you can definitely have raw fruits and raw vegetables. Please have good first class proteins like milk, low fat paneer or low fat yogurt if curds allowed, or you can definitely have groundnuts. Sago is not a great option because it is generally a fast absorbing carbohydrate leading to weight gain. So your healthy snack options can be groundnuts, it can be curds, or it can be plain milk with fruits like your papaya, your sweet lime, your oranges, your muskmelons, and not bananas, chiku, grapes, and sitafal. Khalim from Lucknow, why is brown rice better? How much can I take? Khalim, brown rice is better than white rice because it has a higher amount of fiber. It steadies the release of carbohydrate in the body. It steadies the release of insulin in the body. So there is no insulin spike that would lead to weight gain. You can have a cup of brown rice with vegetables for lunch or for dinner. Shivani from Bhopal has a question saying, does too much of calcium cause stones? Remember one thing, Shivani, calcium never causes any stone. There are certain factors that would be in the diet that would bind with calcium and cause stones. That could be from your leafy vegetables like spinach or beans or any other food. So once you have stones, you need to find out what kind of stones they are. Calcium by itself does not cause any kidney stones. In fact, you need calcium to maintain your bone healthy. Sonal from Aurangabad has a question saying, is water 0 calories? Yes, water has no calories at all. Please keep drinking water throughout the day. Try to target to have at least 2 to 3 liters of water in a day. Try to finish a liter of water every 3 hours. Remember, water is also a most important nutrient that is important for basic functioning in the body. If you aim for fat loss or muscle gain, it is also important to hydrate yourself. So keep drinking water. Water does not have any calories. Zakia from Mumra, I go to college but do not have time to eat, so I drink a lot of cold drinks. Kindly advise. Zakira, please carry fruits or please carry fruit juices or milkshakes or almonds or peanuts if you do not have the time to eat. Do not have cold drinks because they are nothing but empty calories laden with sugar and caffeine that is definitely not good for your health. Rao West from Bangalore has a question. I have given up on bananas. I just don't seem to be able to take any food on board. I run marathons and train on water alone, and I'm pretty sure my times would be better if I could learn to take on food. How can I train my stomach to accept food? Rao, if you would have problems having meals during the run, you could please start having Gatorade rather than having pure water alone. It is not advisable to have nothing or pure water post 60 minutes of the run. If you've been able to time your runs better, I would just say that you've been pure lucky, but I would definitely say focus on having high carbohydrate. You get sports gel in the market too that are easily available that do not cause any gastric upset. So please go and buy sports gel that would not cause gastric upset and keep having them during the run, and keep hydrating yourself with a sports drink or a diluted juice during the run. Do not run on an empty stomach or do not train on water alone. Radha from Raipur has a question. Is mayonnaise good as a salad dressing? If not, what other salad dressings can be used? You can use low-fat mayonnaise as a salad dressing, or you can use low-fat curds. You can use mustard, chili sauce, lime or vinegar as salad dressings. Remember, vinegar is a salad dressing that aids in fat loss. Dayanand from Kolkata has a question. How much of sugar can I take daily? Dayanand, remember, sugar is nothing but a pure form of fast absorbing carbohydrate. You ideally need to focus on how much of carbohydrates you need to have in the diet. A teaspoon of sugar would give you around 20 grams of carbohydrate. So you can have 5 grams of carbohydrate, so you can have around 2 teaspoons of sugar in a day. Rita from Haryana has a question. I have a history of fainting and feel better after a glass of lime water. How much lime water can I drink throughout the day? Rita, if you are having lime water with sugar, it would definitely help you post your fainting spells. But lime water with sugar throughout the day would not be recommended. If you need to have lime water, you can have lime water without sugar, around 2 to 3 glasses or 3 to 4 glasses of lime water per day. Abhishek Jaiswal from Jalandhar has a question. I need some advice on how to make sure I'm eating enough to fuel my training. I just get so confused with all different things I read. How much is enough? Remember one thing, Abhishek, your requirement of carbohydrate before your training, that is a week prior to the marathon, would be 7 grams per kg body weight. So if your body weight is around 50 kgs, multiply it by 7 to get the amount of carbohydrates you would require. Your sources of carbohydrate would be whole wheat bread, it would be pasta, it would be brown rice, it would be oatmeal, a wheat chapati, your fruits, your vegetables, your low-fat dairy products, and so on. On the race day, have at least around 200 grams of carbohydrates. Make sure you do not have any fiber during the race day, and limit your fiber intake, that is your salads, during the week prior to the marathon. Sona from Cochin has a question. Is red meat better or white meat? Red meat is definitely not recommended because, Sona, it is high in saturated fats. Renuka has a question. While running a marathon, one tends to get tired beyond a point. What is the best solution for not getting tired? Renuka, remember, please have a carbohydrate dense meal 3 hours prior to the marathon. Try to have a cereal bar or a sports gel or a liquid meal replacement or a fruit half an hour to 1 hour prior to the run. Start refueling yourself and hydrating yourself refueling yourself post 90 minutes. Start having, you may begin by having oranges, orange slices, or apples without skin. You can have sports gel, you can have dates, or you can have a sports drink during the run. Post 60 minutes, please start having a sports drink or undiluted fruit juice or a liter of water with electrolyte. Marathon, Nitin from Delhi has a question. What kind of marathon can I do at my gym? Marathon training in gym has to be concentrated on core muscle strengthening combined with weight training and aerobics. It also, remember Nitin, has to be done under the guidance of a fitness trainer. We end it here. Please do visit our website www.talwalkars.net. SMS FIT to 575758 for details. Like us on www.facebook.com Talwalkars India and follow us on www.twitter.com mytalwalkars. Thank you.